A small jet just broke a very big rule. The rule said fighter jets must be huge. They must be complex. They must cost a fortune. A small company from a small country just showed the world another way. The company is Saab. The jet is the Gripen. The shock is real. It is echoing through the halls of the Pentagon. It is being felt in the boardrooms of the world's largest defense contractors. The old way of building warplanes may be dying. A new era may have just begun. This is not just about one aircraft. It is about a fundamental shift in military power. The world of fighter jets has been dominated by giants for decades. Superpowers built superplanes. These jets were marvels of engineering, packed with custom-built hardware. Each new generation was bigger, faster, and exponentially more expensive than the last. This created an exclusive club. Only the wealthiest nations could afford to develop and fly the very best. Saab just took a sledgehammer to the doors of that club. They showed that clever design can compete with brute force. The Saab Gripen is not a new aircraft. It has been flying for years. But what Saab has done with its latest version, the Gripen E, is revolutionary. The jet is small. It is light. It is powered by a single engine. On paper, it cannot match the raw statistics of its larger, twin-engine rivals, F-35, Eurofighter Typhoon. But its true power is not in its engine or its airframe. Its secret is its electronic brain. Saab designed the Gripen E with a radical concept at its core. It is called a distributed federated avionics architecture. This sounds complex. The idea is simple. The system separates the flight-critical systems from the mission systems. Think of it like a smartphone. The basic operating system that makes calls is kept separate from the apps you download. The Gripen's flight controls are the operating system. They are tested, certified, and locked down for safety. Sensors, weapons, communication tools. They can be added, they can be removed, they can be updated through software without touching the core flight systems. This is the game changer. Integrate a new weapon in weeks, not years. Integrate a new sensor in weeks, not years. The jet can constantly evolve to meet new threats. Saab has demonstrated it publicly. New software loads can be uploaded to the aircraft. New capabilities in a matter of hours. Meteor integrated faster than any other platform. Gripen's radar updated with new code. Its electronic warfare suite updated with new code. This is not just an upgrade, it is a continuous evolution. The jet that flies on Monday can be a more capable jet by Friday. For decades, the fighter jet industry operated on a single model. Let us call it the cathedral model. Defense giants would spend billions of dollars and over a decade to build a magnificent monolithic aircraft. Every component was bespoke. Every line of code was proprietary. The entire system was a closed, guarded secret. This process created incredible machines, but it also created incredible costs and incredible delays. Programs like the F-35 became legendary for their capabilities. They also became infamous for budget overruns and timelines stretching decades. This was the accepted price of admission to the top tier of air power. Under this old model, upgrades were a nightmare. Imagine installing a new camera on a multi-billion-dollar jet. You could not simply bolt it on. The new hardware might interfere with the radar. Its software might conflict with navigation. Its power draw could affect flight controls. Every single potential interaction had to be studied, simulated, and physically tested. Regression testing could take years. It required a massive team of engineers and test pilots. A single minor upgrade could cost hundreds of millions. This created a dangerous lag. The world changes fast. New threats emerge from adversaries not bound by slow processes. While a Western Air Force might spend 5 years testing a software patch, an enemy could already deploy a new jamming system. A brand new, expensive fighter could be obsolete in some areas on day one. The industry sold this as a feature. They called it deliberate, rigorous testing. But it was also a business model that guaranteed decades of high-priced service and upgrade contracts. The financial risk was immense, but borne by the taxpayer. Defense contractors were protected by cost-plus contracts. If programs ran over budget, the government paid more. That created little incentive to innovate or control costs. The goal: build the most complex machine possible. Complexity equaled billable hours and long-term sustainment revenue. The Gripen's new model attacks this entire structure. It suggests the cathedral is no longer the only way: faster, cheaper, and more flexible. Talk is cheap. The defense industry is full of glossy brochures and ambitious promises. Saab knew this. They knew they had to provide undeniable proof that their new approach was not just a marketing slogan. They did so in a series of highly public and transparent demonstrations. They did not hide their work behind layers of classification. They invited observers. They published data. They showed the world, step by step, how they had broken the old rules. The proof was not in a computer simulation. It was in the air, with a real jet, using real hardware and software. Saab took a new weapon system, one the Gripen had never been designed to carry, and integrated it onto the aircraft. In a traditional program, this would be a multi-year effort. Saab's engineers completed software development and initial testing in weeks. The jet was then flown in a live-fire exercise where it successfully deployed the new weapon. The video of the test, released publicly, sent a clear message. The upgrade cycle can be compressed from years down to weeks. In another test, Saab showed the resilience of their federated system. They simulated the failure of a key mission computer during flight. On an older integrated aircraft, this could cause a cascading failure. On the Gripen E, the system instantly rerouted tasks. Other processors picked up the workload. The pilot's displays flickered, then stabilized. The mission continued. This proved that the distributed design was not just cheaper and more flexible, but also more robust and battle-ready. It was a direct answer to critics who claimed open systems were inherently fragile. The reaction from potential customers was immediate. Air forces struggling with cost and slow upgrades took notice. Brazil praised the speed and tech transfer. Others in Eastern Europe, Southeast Asia, and South America showed renewed interest. They saw a path to a first-rate, future-proof fighter without bankrupting their treasuries. The sales numbers and official inquiries began to climb. The proof was not just technical, it was commercial. The Gripen's success is more than a technical achievement. It is a direct economic threat to the world's largest defense contractors. Companies like Lockheed Martin, Boeing, the Eurofighter Consortium have built their empires on the old model. Their business plans are based on multi-decade programs. They make an initial profit on the sale of the aircraft. But the real money comes from the long tail of sustainment, service, upgrades. A single fighter program can generate hundreds of billions of dollars in revenue over its lifetime. The Gripen model shatters this. By making upgrades faster, cheaper, software-based, it dramatically shrinks that long tail of revenue. If a customer can integrate a new sensor with their own engineers using a simple software development kit, they no longer need to pay the original manufacturer $1 billion for a 5-year upgrade program. This puts immense pressure on legacy contractors' profit margins. They are facing a classic innovator's dilemma. Their existing business is so profitable they hesitate to embrace a model that cannibalizes revenue. But if they do not, they risk being left behind. For years, the sale of high-end fighter jets has been a key tool of U.S. foreign policy. An F-35 sale ties an ally's air force into the American ecosystem for the next 40 years. Parts, software, political approvals. The Gripen offers an alternative. It is a non-aligned option. It allows a country to stay state-of-the-art without becoming dependent on a superpower. This creates a new competitive landscape. Suddenly, the market is not just a 2- or 3-horse race between American, Russian, or European giants. A smaller, agile player from Sweden can now compete for major contracts. This forces everyone to get sharper. Prices may have to come down. timelines may have to shrink. The big players may be forced to adopt more open architectures whether they want to or not. The shockwaves expose an uncomfortable truth. Their most profitable model may also be their biggest vulnerability. Section 6. Speed is the new stealth. For a generation, stealth was the trump card. F-22, F-35, backed by exotic materials, unique manufacturing, decades of research. The pinnacle of the cathedral model. But the Gripen's revolution suggests a new paradigm. In the 21st century, the speed of adaptation may be more important than the quality of invisibility. Think about the modern battle space. It is flooded with sensors, ground-based radars, airborne early warning aircraft, satellites, sensors on enemy fighters, all networked together and constantly upgraded. A stealth aircraft invisible today might be detectable tomorrow after a new algorithm. The stealth versus counter-stealth race is constant and expensive. The Gripen E takes a different approach. It assumes it will be detected. Its survival depends on winning the electronic battle that happens next, processing faster, using advanced EW to jam, deceive, blind, and networking with friendly assets on the ground, in the air, and in space to fuse the picture. The winner is not necessarily the least reflective airframe. It is the one with superior software and faster processing power. Crucially, it is the one that can update that software overnight to counter a new threat that appeared yesterday. A traditional jet might wait years for a new EW suite. The Gripen, with its app-based model, can update its EW library in hours, fly in the morning, write jamming code in the afternoon, upload by evening. This ability to learn and adapt within a 24-hour cycle is a weapon more powerful than any stealth coding. Section 7. The big players react. The giants of the defense industry are not blind. They see the writing on the wall. Their initial reaction has been a predictable mix of dismissal and imitation. Publicly, executives downplayed the Swedish achievement. They argue that the Gripen is a niche aircraft, not a true replacement for a fifth-generation platform like the F-35. They emphasize raw performance, sensor fusion, stealth. They point to the security risks of open architecture, fear, uncertainty, doubt. Behind the scenes, however, a different story is unfolding. Engineering departments are scrambling. The U.S. Air Force is now demanding modularity for next-generation programs. Big contractors are trying to bolt openness onto aircraft designed to be proprietary. It is far more difficult and expensive than designing it in from the start. They are playing catch-up. We are already seeing it. Legacy upgrades emphasize new mission computers and open architecture. New programs promise digital design and software-defined capabilities. The marketing language has changed completely. But changing a PowerPoint slide is easy. Changing a decades-old engineering culture and business model is incredibly hard. They must learn to become more like software companies, hire different engineers, adopt agile, accept revenue less dependent on slow hardware and more on services, data, software licenses. Section 8. The new battlefield winners and losers. The new rules pioneered by Gripen will create a clear set of winners and losers. The biggest winners are middle power nations, Southeast Asia, South America, Eastern Europe. For decades they faced a hard choice: buy second-rate older aircraft they could afford, or become financially and politically indebted to a superpower. The Gripen E offers a third way: credible, modern, affordable, independent. This enhances their sovereignty and regional stability. Taxpayers in Western countries also win. It proves cutting-edge capability can be delivered without blank check spending, empowering accountability and efficiency. The most obvious losers are contractors who cannot adapt. Market share shrinks, sustainment contracts threatened, stock under pressure. Some titans may become cautionary tales. Pilots flying older aircraft also lose. As software-defined jets evolve monthly, the capability gap widens. An F-16 peer yesterday could be outmatched tomorrow. The new battlefield is not just hardware. It is a race of adaptation, and those who fall behind will pay a heavy price. Section 9. A lesson written in the sky. A small Swedish jet has taught the world a very large lesson. The lesson is simple. In an age of rapid technological change, adaptability is the ultimate weapon. A system designed for continuous evolution will defeat one designed to be perfect, but static. This truth transformed computing and telecommunications. Now it has come to fighter jets. The secret is out. The Gripen did not just perform a test flight. It heralded a new doctrine for air power. The future belongs to the fast, not just the strong. This is not the end of the big, powerful fighter jet. Platforms like the F-35 will still have a role. But the Gripen shattered the myth that it is the only path to superiority. A philosophy of modularity, open software, and rapid iteration can deliver formidable, future-proof capability at a fraction of the cost. It has forced a conversation about true value. The next 5 years will shape the skies for the next 50. Will buyers embrace the new model? Will giants truly transform or protect old ways? The contest is between two fundamentally different philosophies of power. The story of the Gripen is a lesson written in the sky. The world is watching. Do not look away.